Hi, I'm Candace.
And I'm Ripley.
And I'm John.
And this is Comicsplaining.
The show with a veritable cornucopia of Peter Rasputins. Except not really.
God, I hate what the X-Men movies did with him.
You mean what they didn't do with him?
Yeah, that, but also what they did do. Like, have him be in both time periods?
Yeah.
For some reason? As a teen? And the only time we hear him talk, he's an American?
Extremely American.
The more I see, the more I hate it. It's wrong.
There's also Deadpool Peter Rasputin.
There is
the superior one?
The only valid, the Piotr Rasputin.
Yes, all
instead
others
of
are
Peter.
Pete.
Yeah, all others are just Pete, and it's fucked up. God, that's the thing, isn't it? Deadpool, like, Ryan Reynolds knew they did Piotr Rasputin dirty, so he said, "Mine now."
Well, Ryan Reynolds, the reason that he wanted to make Deadpool for so long was because he actually read the comic books.
Yeah, and also...
Because he got cast as Wade Wilson
which
in
was brilliant casting.
Wolverine Origins, and they didn't utilize him correctly, and then because he got cast that way, he looked into the comic books, and he was like, this character's awesome, actually.
And this was actually inspired casting. I'm perfect for this. Why did they do this to me?
Yeah.
This character's awesome, actually. Opinion of Ryan Reynolds may not represent opinion of Comicsplaining hosts.
Yeah.
It does. I speak for Comicsplaining, and when I say Comicsplaining thinks Deadpool is awesome.
I think movie Deadpool is awesome.
Yeah, I speak for Comicsplaining, and I don't approve of that message at all. Movie Deadpool is cool. I tend to find comic Deadpool
annoying.
Bit annoying.
I think he's fun.
Sometimes he is. Sometimes he's just annoying.
A lot of it depends on the writer. I've actually been reading through some older Deadpool, and it hasn't been terrible.
Yeah?
No.
Like, don't get me wrong. Basically, every character has to be handled by the right writer.
Well, yeah, obviously.
A lot of people just screw that up, but...
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Joe Kelly is at least an enjoyable Deadpool writer.
Deadpool is kind of obviously one of those characters that you either really need to get right or is going to be easily done wrong.
Well, yeah.
You could always sew his mouth shut.
Yeah!
Yeah, then you don't have to worry about trying.
Yeah, the merc with a mouth? Don't worry about it. No mouth.
Yeah.
So what got us on this subject is we're watching Days of Future Past.
Linking between... future X-Men and past X-Men.
A link between X-Men.
Yeah. It's a weird movie.
It was nominated for an Oscar.
For special effects.
It counts.
It does. It does. It just doesn't speak to the writing.
Yeah.
Or the acting. But it does mean the Academy watched it. Because I don't know if you've heard, that's kind of it. Either if the Academy doesn't watch a thing, it doesn't get nominated.
Wow.
It definitely doesn't win.
That's insightful.
I don't know anything about the Academy.
Yeah, the Oscars are self-fellatio party. They suck their own dicks, guys. I'm sorry. It's what it is.
This is timely.
Yeah, it is, actually. That's why I've heard
For us.
Mm-hmm.
For us, not for you guys. For you guys, it'll be a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Oscars are playing tonight. We're not watching them. We're watching Days of Future Past.
Oh, are they tonight? I didn't know.
Yes, they are.
I don't pay attention to that stuff.
My parents care so much. I've never understood.
It was on the Disney Plus homepage when we were there, but you were in the kitchen at the time.
Yeah, I was busy.
See, the thing is, if you actually look through the history of the Oscars, they will often nominate the most important movie of the year, but they will only nominate it. They rarely pick it as Best Picture. And it's like, what's that year? What was the most important movie that year? Is it even nominated? Maybe. Is it Best Picture? Definitely not. Does it even get anything? Probably not. They are a horrible judge of taste.
I really just don't care about awards at all, really. I understand, like, there are reasons, but, like, for me, as a viewer, it doesn't really make that much of a difference.
Like,
I don't even care about reviews a lot of the time. It's just a general guideline on something, you know?
I care about awards, but I care about awards that actually represent larger social consciousness, not just, like, what did this group
some rich guys.
What did some rich people think about the movies?
Yeah.
I like awards that are more like best of lists.
Do you like the Hugos? The Hugos are neat. Yeah, I'm biased about speculative fiction.
Anyway, who wants to tell me what happened last time on X-Men?
Yeah, Candace, who wants to tell us what happened?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because last time you guys recorded, I took kind of a mental health day, but was then inadvertently tortured by listening to you two bumble through these issues of Magik.
I mean, that's about all you can do with them. I'm sorry. They're not terrible, but this is not what I would expect from a character I've met in the distant future.
Bumble through, wow.
Yeah. Let's see what happened last time. Well, you were reading Magik. You read the first 2 issues, and basically it went over, well, it started to go over what happened to Ilyana in Limbo, because obviously they didn't get the little baby Ilyana back.
Yeah.
Some shenanigans happened.
They did indeed.
Basically Belasco, like, took baby Ilyana out of the portal as the X-Men were disappearing. So she was still stuck in Limbo. And then Old Storm rescued her?
Yep.
Yeah, and...
After Belasco transformed part of her soul into a bloodstone.
Which makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
It's a whole thing. I don't know what that's about.
It's stupid and makes no sense. So yeah, he did some shit to her, and then Old Storm rescued her. And then there was also an adult Kitty Pryde.
Who called Cat.
Who's called Cat and is a ninja for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. What the hell?
Kind of a dick. And also kind of furry.
Yeah. Spoiler, she will become more of a furry later.
Yeah, and she and Storm had a disagreement about what to do with Ilyana, because Cat thought that they should just kill Ilyana.
Yep.
So that Belasco couldn't, like, use her to advance his goals or whatever.
Yeah, because he
wants
going
to break down the barriers between reality so the elder gods can reign in the mortal world.
Etc.
Or something.
Yeah, no, you pretty much got it.
That's basically it. But Storm did not want to kill a child. So she thought that she could, like, train Ilyana to not be evil, basically. And they were kind of having a disagreement about that. But Storm did end up training Ilyana a little bit, and in the process, Ilyana aged a year.
For reasons, because Limbo is just like that.
It's a stupid contrivance. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not overwhelmingly fond of it either.
It's stupid because it's like, you could have just had, like, a time skip.
They could have! Yeah! Actually, yeah, that would have made... That might have been better. Like, she spent a year actually training with Storm.
Because then it would have felt less weird and frantic.
And the whole Storm is frail thing would make even more sense if they spent a year training together and she's a year older. They only have so much time. They're gonna run out of time. Who knows if Storm can train her everything she needs to learn to be able to hold off Belasco. Spoiler.
Yeah.
So you propose a training montage.
Yes!
Yeah, I think the main issue with the last 2 issues was... The main issue with the issues was just that the pacing was very weird.
And it's a very... But, like, This is a very fantasy thing for something that's been mostly leaning towards sci-fi.
It's a very fantasy-oriented thing, which means that we're kind of making up the rules as we go, which means that there's absolutely no reason why it had to be that frantic and weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ileana trained with Storm a little bit, and then Kat kidnapped her,
Basically.
That sounds right.
but decided not to kill her.
For some reason.
Yeah, instead they were gonna go fight Belasco, which I don't entirely understand why she thought that was a good idea.
No, they weren't going to go fight Belasco. She was going to take her to Belasco's castle, where
The portal.
The portal, that's right, that's right. Okay.
Because he has portals for reasons.
Yeah.
Why we have those portals elsewhere?
No, that's just the place where the rift between dimensions is the smallest.
Yeah,
so.
No, the portal things are different.
Yeah, the little portals are just traditional features of the property.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So they traveled to Belasco's castle. Along the way, Kat trained Ileana
And gave her a cat skin onesie.
Yeah.
Not leather, skin.
Yeah, and they killed some animals, and and Kat was weird.
And a dick.
Yeah. Then they got to the castle, and they had to fight Nightcrawler, the evil one.
Rip evil Nightcrawler.
Yeah, he got killed. But then Belasco showed up.
They actually went into the portal. They got faked out by X-Men, but no, it's Belasco.
Yeah, and he
just tells Kat
fucked
no.
up. I mean, he did more than that. He turned her into basically an animal.
Yeah.
Who's completely, mindless and subservient to him.
Yeah.
And he regained ownership of Ileana, so...
And we end with Ororo seeing what's going on and saying, I'm going to have to kill her!
Yeah.
Gonna have to kill both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's not happy about it, to say the least.
But this cover is silly.
Or is it?
It's no sillier than any other comic book cover, to be honest.
Yeah, but usually this should not be a hard choice.
This cover being Magik #3 from November of 1983, written by Chris Claremont, penciled by Ron Frenz, inked by Tom Palmer, colored by Glynis Wein, and lettered by Tom Orzechowski with a cover by Ron Frenz and Tom Palmer. Ron Frenz is a new name for us. So what's something fun about Ron Frenz?
Well, he worked on Thor later.
That's correct.
I remember him.
Neat.
Was he good on Thor?
I don't remember that.
Oh no.
I remember him specifically because he worked on an issue with Loki, and he was one of the first people to have Loki speak in runes to cast a spell.
Okay.
And I spent a lot of time translating the runes, and they said introducing Marvel's newest superstar, Ron Frenz. So that's why I remember Ron Frenz.
He went to the effort of actually writing something in runes.
Yeah.
But
it was just
eat your
cereal.
Here. Buy more Fruitios or whatever the heck that translator ring deal was.
Anyway, Wikipedia notes that he had a tendency to end up on books where the characters weren't in their usual costumes or identities.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
This happened with Black Suit Spider-Man, which he introduced.
Really?
Yeah, it's not the first chronologically, but it is. He did introduce it. It came out first, I believe, if I recall correctly.
Because I know Black Suit Spider-Man is extremely important.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't, the idea of Venom wasn't there from the start, but yes. This also happened with Thor, I guess.
Oh no.
He had a different thing going on at the time.
He sure did.
Oh no.
Yeah, Thor does stuff eventually. It takes a while to get there, but it happens.
No, I believe it. I believe you. I've read some more recent Thor, like putting Asgard in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It also happened with Superman.
Ooh.
Oh no.
And it's not like he was writing these titles either, it just kept happening.
What the heck? So what? Basically, someone decides, I'm going to do something weird with this character. I need Ron Friends
To fill in for me.
to do the art.
So it would seem. Under the tutelage of Belasco, Ilyana willingly works her magic upon a small creature, still torn between longing and dread for her dark servitude to her master as her soul grows more and more corrupt. She raised the mouse-like little thing she now transformed into a gnarled monster.
Ooh.
But the Squidge, as it's called, isn't so fond of the transformation and leaps at the girl, claws raking across her flesh, tearing twin gouges across her cheek. She swats it back across the room, at which point the Squidge bolts for the door. A horrified Ilyana wants to catch it and repair the damage she's done, but in an instant it's too late. Cat pounces, devouring the small morsel in a few small bites.
Yum!
Well, that's what you get for animal experimentation.
Regret.
Is that what happens in, like, cosmetic experimentation, too?
Yeah.
A human who's been turned into a cat eats the results, and you get to watch it.
After it attacks you.
Yes.
She then turns her eyes on Ilyana, unnerving the girl. The apprentice attempts to turn to Belasco for salvation, but he's less than comforting when it comes to Kat's aggressive conduct.
What? Belasco is not a gentle and kind tutor?
No
I'm
way.
shocked.
Instead, he taunts her for her fear, continuing on to chide her for her failure to think through the consequences of her soul spell. He's none too pleased with her, ragging on her further, tempted to leave the scars from the Squidge's attack on her face, were it not for the fact that the blood is getting Cat riled. After ordering his apprentice to heal herself, he sends her to her room. Ilyana doesn't just walk. After Cat bares her fangs, the girl runs.
Ew.
Belasco's feline creation hot on her tail.
Yikes.
Should have stayed with Storm, huh?
Yeah, I bet you're regretting what you did now, huh?
She wanted to go home. She was like 7.
Yeah.
It's hard to blame a 7-year-old for wanting to go home.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Damn it.
I don't blame her, but it's also like...
Damn it, Cat. You thought swords could kill this man.
Yeah, I blame Cat more.
For a moment, Rasputina considers oblivion, just letting Cat catch her and send her the way of the Squidge.
Ooh.
But
The way of the Squidge.
But it doesn't last after she recalls Belasco's ability to resurrect the dead.
Ew,
Oh,
well,
fun.
Yeah, that would kind of put a damper on that.
You die, you feel all the stuff that happens when you die, and then, whoops, you're back.
She flees until she reaches her room, but even that's not safety from Cat, who still bears the powers of her mutation, and just slides right on through the door, leaping to perch on the end of Ilyana's bed. The girl, 11 years old now, sobs in fear, but Cat doesn't attack. Instead, she brokenly attempts to cry out Ilyana's name.
Ooh.
That's creepy.
She can see the pain in her eyes, and it hurts the young sorceress too. Unable to bear it any further, she hurls a pillow across the bed at the woman who'd once tried to be her savior.
Fucking rip.
Still lashing out, Ilyana digs deep, touching magic she's never felt before. Unlike in the past, she fully embraces its power, casting a spell without words that sends Cat sprawling. It's enough to make the former X-Man flee, leaving Ilyana to grapple with her fears over the dark power she just unlocked.
Hang on. Cat's outfit has always been dumb, but in this panel,
Yeah.
the side slit goes up to her armpit.
Yeah, I think it always did.
Yeah, I think it always did.
That's stupid.
I thought it was dumb before.
It's still dumb.
Yes.
Also, they didn't draw it like that up here.
You're right.
That's
Inconsistent.
stupid and ugly, and I hate it. And also, clothes don't work like that.
Lots and lots of magical fashion tape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alone now, the girl tries some other magic that in time now long past she witnessed Storm doing, conjuring up a pentacle to protect her from the consequences of any spell she may cast. To her relief, unlike the red-black pentacles of Belasco, hers remains silver like Aurora's, meant to create and heal. She then digs deep within herself, beginning to float in the air as she gathers a bit of herself in an act of creation, attempting to make an acorn like Aurora once did. It's difficult work, but the seed begins to take shape, only to become twisted and dark,
Ooh.
much to Ilyana's horror, breaking her concentration and sending her falling to the ground.
That's a surprisingly painful fall for being up like 2 feet.
Yeah. How did she get upside down like that?
Yeah. How'd she do a flip?
Right?
You could put her in a crater in that falling pose, and she would look an awful lot like dead Yamcha.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You guys don't know that meme? God.
I know it. I'm familiar
I have
with
no
it.
idea. She's devastated to find her acorn too corrupted, finding it a fitting reflection of her soul. But a voice comforts her, telling her that power only corrupts you if you allow it. It is Aurora. Ilyana's delighted to see her, pleading the sorceress to help Kat, to which she cryptically says she'll do what must be done.
Mm-hmm.
Ilyana attempts to reach out to her once mentor, only to find the woman ephemeral.
And is shocked?
Yeah.
Merely an astral projection, though she promises she will be there soon enough.
Like this is not the first time Aurora did this.
You're right, she did that back in the Savage Land.
The
Yeah.
not Savage Lands.
Yeah, but it's less that Ilyana doesn't know that, and more that she's hopeful that she's being rescued.
Aurora says she'll be there soon enough, but it may be soon enough in her eyes, but not for Ilyana. The girl hurriedly explains what she's been up to, studying spellbooks in Belasco's library in the hopes of destroying him before his hold on her becomes too strong, for she feels it growing by the day.
Ooh.
Desperately she explains her plight, how her deeds are growing darker, but Aurora forbids her to make a move, cautioning her that she'll end up like Kat.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah.
That's fate worse than death right there.
That doesn't help, though. She feels she has nothing to lose, but Aurora pleads she just be patient as her astral form fades away.
Well, she's like 11, so that's not one of her strong suits.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pissy about the answer, the young sorceress climbs beneath the sheets, wondering if that really was Aurora or just a trick of Belasco's.
God, that would not be past him.
Yeah, wouldn't put it past him.
Face screwed up, she longs for a way to get around the Citadel without being discovered by Belasco's cronies. But unfortunately, she doesn't know the spells for that. Just then, one of the teleport circles appears on the ceiling,
Convenient.
as if bidden to come.
Mm-hmm.
She wishes for it to come closer rather than remaining uselessly on the ceiling. And to her surprise, it shifts to the wall, responding to her commands.
Ooh.
And she knows it's something to do with her.
Yeah, I was kind of, the random portals all over the place. I was thinking, like...
So that's why we have those.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she doesn't have the time to experiment further, hearing voices out in the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Like any kid, the circle goes under the bed.
Mm.
But that backfires real quick when the whole thing is swallowed up by the stepping disc.
Well...
Whoops.
Yeah.
Her bed reappears out in the tunnels that weave throughout Limbo, and Ilyana concludes that this must be her mutant power.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
Yeah?
exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, that tracks, actually.
She doesn't have long to consider that before a car comes crashing into her bed.
Alright.
The young sorceress leaping clear just in time to avoid injury.
Wait, that's...
We'll get an explanation, hang on.
Piling out are the New Mutants, confused to see her looking so young. But again, before Illyana has an opportunity to question them, they disappear in a flash of light.
Mm-hmm.
That's great and all, but she still has to get to the library. So with no explanation, because the only explanation is that we'll get to that next episode.
That's
See
what I
New
figured.
Mutants number 14 on sale right after Magic number 4.
That's the explanation that I thought was going to happen, honestly.
So with one more stepping disc beneath her feet, she disappears, reappearing in Belasco's library. She approaches his grimoire to continue her surreptitious studies. But that's when Storm's astral form appears before her, demanding she stop before blowing her backwards with a hefty gust that roughly shoves her back onto another of the stepping discs, relocating her yet again, this time to a balcony overlooking Belly's throne room.
Ooh.
Belly. Aw, he's just a little belly guy.
I get tired of saying Belasco over and over again.
I know, but calling him Belly is so funny.
She peeks over the railing to get her bearings, only to nearly catch a lightning bolt to the face.
Yikes.
Ouch.
For down below, we find a younger-looking Storm in pitched battle with Belasco.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's an outfit.
Oh my.
It's not the worst thing she's worn. I don't hate it. I think it's a lot.
Hot.
It is hot.
Yeah.
It does look like it's from Final Fantasy X.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
It looks like Lulu, but skimpier.
Yes.
Somehow. Skimpier than Lulu
But to
already
be fair,
is.
Lulu's outfit is impossible, and this looks feasible.
Yeah. Well, mostly because it's tape.
Or something, whereas... How do you even make a dress made out of belts?
I don't know.
Very, very carefully.
Yeah. She also has her mohawk.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, if not for the mohawk, I would not like this look as much as I do. The mohawk just goes with it.
I think this look fucks.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, it does.
And she's fucking him up.
Oh yeah, no, she's seemingly winning. And Illyana realizes that not only has she been displaced in space, but in time as well.
Now, that's not a traditional magic power that,
That's Limbo and the
yeah,
stupid
that
time.
tracks.
It's basically the Limbo plot device.
Plus her mutant ability.
Yeah.
Aurora presses her advantage, overpowering Belasco. The Demon Lord pleads for mercy, but finds none in his opponent as she finishes him off.
Good.
But there's a cost to be paid. Before Illyana's watching eyes, Aurora begins a transformation, shifting to become like Belasco with his horns and fangs.
Hotter.
She watches on in horror as Belasco walks out, gloating that here he's immune from death, and that what Aurora actually murdered was the end of her innocence.
That makes no sense, but okay. Whatever, Chris.
Sure.
Like I said, I think magic is his weakest aspect.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Magic with a C, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
Like, I get that magical stuff is Calvin Ball a lot of the time.
Yes, you can make shit up, but it has to have rules.
And every time you think there's some rule here, he's twisting it on his head, and after a while, there's nothing.
It's like in Thor, where Thor can just time travel and moves faster than light, but then also sometimes can't do that.
And the writers forget, you made him have the ability to time travel.
Do they forget, or do they just find
Choose
that
not to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if you choose not to use it, that means that Thor is choosing not to do a thing that would solve the problem.
Yes, and that's why it's bad.
Yeah.
This is that same kind of thing. It's just like, there's no consistency.
Like, it's one thing if the writers decide, I don't like that power, so I'm going to pretend it never existed.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing when it's the same writer who did the thing and just ignores it.
Yeah. Stan.
Stan. And, I mean, I can work with Belasco as immune from death in Limbo.
Sure, but...
But the innocence part?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
You see, by killing a helpless opponent, she'd proven herself irredeemably corrupt.
Bullshit.
A helpless opponent? What? Huh?
Bull
Say
fucking
again?
shit. Chris? Mr. Claremont?
Mr. Claremont, you owe me an explanation for this tomfoolery.
Hence her transformation to the red-skinned something before him.
The red-skinned hottie before him. The fuck?
So Belasco knows how to make Storm hotter. Okay.
I mean, it's really an incredible feat. He turned her into Karlach.
He did! Is that your favorite Baldur's Gate 3 character?
Yes.
Of course it is.
I'm a lesbian. Of course it is.
Hey, look. There are plenty of lesbian candidates in Baldur's Gate 3.
It's true.
There are 2 other perfectly good Failwives in Baldur's Gate 3. You don't have to... In fact, they are actual Failwives. Karlach isn't.
Yeah. She's just sad.
Yes, she's just sad. Lizelle is a dumpster fire. And
Anyway.
Shadowheart. Oh boy, Shadowheart.
Belasco proclaims her forever bound to him, and upsets young Ilyana enough that with a cry of despair she summons forth a stepping disc, reappearing back in the present atop the battlements of the Citadel.
Hey, my buddy Sim. You guys met him last time, and I was sad that I didn't get to see him in his stupid outfit.
Yeah, his little vest and his shorts.
While you were talking about him, I was gonna ask, is he still wearing his outfit? But I didn't.
Yeah, Sim and his little vest, his short shorts. This man has, like, more of an inner life than Belasco does.
Yeah.
Like he has a life.
He's got an aesthetic.
I feel like he goes to the club. Like, the gay club.
Yeah,
But
obviously.
the club, like he's only... It's 83. He goes to the gay club. Come on. But he's going to the club.
Are we implying that demons have genders?
Sim should be at the club.
Yeah, Sim should not be abusing a child. He should be at the club.
Some demon can have gender if they want to, as a treat.
Look, I'm not saying he has gender, but he's going to the gay club.
Yeah, it's just a vibe.
Yeah. It's vibes.
Well, as you guys have given away, for her it's out of the frying pan and into the fire.
And the gay club would not have a problem with Sim.
No, he'd fit right in.
Yeah, they would not care.
Sim grabs her by the head, declaring that Belasco's none too happy that she's disappeared. The young Russian's not having it, though, and she forces him back a ways, blinding him with a flare spell before opening up a teleport circle behind him when he stumbles backwards, sending him who knows where.
Or when.
Peeking down over the edge, Ilyana realizes that a giant hole's been blown into the castle.
Neat.
Sick.
And given the foul weather, she thinks she knows by who. Realizing that Aurora's come here to rescue her, Ilyana rushes through the castle to find she and Belasco engaged in yet another duel.
Oh boy.
Just keeps happening.
And she's got one thought on her mind, that she has got to get them out of here with a stepping disc. Aurora in her aged state can't win. Ilyana tries it, but fails. And that's when Kat moves in, raking her claws across Storm's back.
Ah, nuts.
As her mentor collapses to the floor, well, her once mentor, Ilyana charges in with a torch to force Kat back. Belasco is displeased, ordering Kat to give his apprentice some scars for her trouble. And she leaps, swiping in a vicious backhand that throws the girl back against a column. With few choices against the vicious Kat, Ilyana leaps upon her back, wrapping her arm around her neck.
Choices that Ilyana did kind of make.
The feline woman does everything she can to dislodge her, including slamming her against a wall, but it's no use, and eventually Rasputina gets the leverage she needs to snap Pride's neck.
Ooh.
And that sure is a snap.
Ooh. I like the way that they framed that.
Yeah, I think it was a nice use of lettering there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The paneling on this page is good, too.
Mm-hmm.
Falling to the ground atop her dead friend, Ilyana just feels numb, something that concerns her greatly, but there's no time to dwell on the matter.
Girl, don't worry. You're dissociating. You'll feel it later.
Instead, she scrambles over to Aurora's side, cradling her head in her lap. Between labored breaths, Aurora reassures her that Katz was a mercy killing, and entreats her not to mourn for either of them, for she goes to be with her friends. But this, Belasco insists, is not so.
Ugh.
Shenanigans.
Before celebrating, first he has to do some gloating, smug over how tainted the young Ilyana has become. With a wave of his hand, he reveals her locket, 2 of its bloodstones in place, before he continues, speaking of Aurora's life journey here in Limbo. How she managed to reclaim her soul from Belasco and become good again. Something only she has ever done.
Ooh.
He then reveals his plan before the dying woman. Her punishment? First to watch Ilyana conjure another bloodstone. And then to have her soul sacrificed to the elder gods for eternity.
Wow. You are out of, 60s Thor. What the hell? What, did Stan write you?
I don't know, I think this is a little grim for Stan.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
But it's silly enough.
I don't know about that.
Okay, maybe not Stan, but one of the guys who followed Stan.
I think you're just looking at his pose and his bright red outfit.
No, the whole... This feels silly to me.
Okay.
How'd you like that?
It's an improvement.
It still feels frantic.
Yeah. It had that neat snap,
Yeah?
but that wasn't really the writing, was it?
No.
I mean,
It might have been.
it counts towards things, too. The art counts
Yeah,
just
it
as
does.
much as the...
It does. Yeah, but I was talking about the writing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But when the writing is doing some of the least heavy lifting and the art doesn't really feel like it belongs in an X-Men book.
3.
Ish.
It's Ann comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad this is the origin of Magik, to be perfectly honest. She's way more cool in the future.
3 stars. What do you think that CMRO thought?
Oh, they seem to like this stuff.
4.
3.5?
3.59.
Woo, John.
Yeah, once I get a bead on it, just have a sense.
This is a cover.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the cover for Magik number 4 from November of 1983. Written by Chris Claremont, penciled by Sal Buscema, inked by Tom Palmer, colored by Ken Fedunowicz, and lettered by Tom Orzechowski with a cover by Brett Blevins and Tom Palmer.
I like this cover.
Yeah, I do too.
Look at all the details in the background.
Yeah.
It's really cool looking.
I just think she looks fab.
I mean, she does.
She does.
But also the rest of it does.
It does.
They gave her a tail.
They did. A fleshy tail.
A fleshy tail. I'm not sure I like meat. A human meat tail.
Ken Fedunowicz is a new name for us, so what can I tell you about him? Well, a little bit. He was actually involved in politics.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh no is right.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
It looks like he ran for office more than a few times.
Oh, actually, that's not so bad.
I found a Fox News article dating back at least to 2002 for the America First Party,
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
and his obituary highlights that he ran under the Patriot Movement Party at some point.
I want to groan incredibly loudly at that.
Well, please don't, because I have to edit this.
I know.
Apart from that, though, he helped organize several comic conventions, at least one of which seems to still be running even after his passing.
So he did some good in the world.
I don't think it balances out, unfortunately.
Well, I don't think he won office, if it helps.
Yeah, I guess that does help.
Yeah, but you know if he'd lived, what he'd be voting for and pushing for now
Mm-hmm.
with that political association.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
As she holds Storm's dying body in her arms, some part of Ilyana still delights in the praise she received for killing Kat.
Oh yeah, the last issue's cover was a total bullshit.
Yeah, it was. I was just thinking about that.
It's a praise she'll get more of when she participates in the sacrifice, but instead she begs for Storm's life, pleading that she'll do anything. Belasco is unmoved.
No shit.
What?
Belasco isn't gonna be persuaded by emotion? No way.
Ilyana pleads that she'll do anything, but Belasco is unmoved, claiming that she'll do that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point.
Just to please him, before passing her a dagger with which to cut herself so she can create another bloodstone. Ilyana can't help but recite the words to the ritual in her mind, but when she looks down into Aurora's smiling face, it breaks the spell over her. And after a brief apology, she instead plunges the knife into Storm's neck, ending the sorceress's long life and causing the weather outside to fucking go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Belasco screams, "Hey, we've got some actual emotions from him! Ha ha!"
Yeah.
In the fury of the storm, even Belasco's castle begins to suffer ill effects, stones raining down from the ceiling, killing several of his lesser demons.
Rip.
They will not be missed.
Lesser demons will not return in Avengers Infinity War. Belasco himself is fucking pissed,
Good.
swearing retribution against the girl wherever she may try to flee.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, like you weren't gonna do something terrible anyway.
And try she does. One of the stepping discs forms below her and Storm, and the pair disappear, reappearing in Storm's garden. Crying as she works, Ilyana sets to stepping up a burial mound of stone atop of Aurora's corpse to mark her grave. She's just finished her sad task when a transformation begins to take hold of the garden. First, Aurora's plants begin to wither away, their beautiful blooms turning to rot before Ilyana's eyes. Then a cold gust cuts through the air, freezing her in her leotard. Belasco's doing, she's sure. With Storm dead, his magics again hold sway here, and Limbo's foul decay is now taking hold.
Dang it.
Just then, the rocks of Storm's cairn begin to shift, and a gnarled hand reaches out, scaring the young sorceress stiff as Aurora, now as withered and dead as the rest of her garden oasis, rises out of the grave, proclaiming some deeds unforgivable.
Yikes.
Yeah, I would not be prepared for zombie Storm either.
No, not particularly.
Hopefully she can't control the weather. Something, Marvel Zombies, something.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Marvel Zombies, to be honest.
I've read it, I'm unimpressed. She then lunges at Rasputina, threatening to kill her once apprentice. In a flash, Ilyana is gone, vanishing in one of her teleport circles to parts unknown. She barely gets the chance to catch her breath, writing the monster off as not the true Storm, when Colossus comes crashing through the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Proclaiming that the scales must be balanced for all who died for her.
Okay. That sounds like something he would say for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing he would say.
Yet again she ports away, this time reappearing, to her shock, outside her home in the Ust-Ordinsky collective farm.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Gleefully she runs to the door, ready to see her parents again. Saying they're shocked would be an understatement. Shocked that this random girl is claiming to be their little one.
A random girl wearing animal skin.
Yeah.
Her parents deny her, pushing her back and dissing her duds, writing her off as some kind of feral wolf girl from a traveling circus. They then tell her to get gone, shutting the door in her face.
Oof.
Devastated, she sinks to her knees, unsure how to proceed. She is still lost in thought when a hand taps her on the shoulder, a voice hoarsely whispering that, dear little Ilyana, is the least of your troubles.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Weird.
She whirls to see all of the dead X-Men approaching and falls in a dead faint.
I'm sorry, but I have trouble believing Wolverine can die like that.
I like the Colossus zombie.
Yeah, he's a metal zombie. What the hell?
I mean, we established that Wolverine died at some point, that Sim
We
McFucking killed
did,
him.
but
Yeah.
we didn't see the remains.
Yes, we
Yes,
did.
we did.
We did?
Yeah.
Very much
Where
did.
was Wolverine's remains?
Belasco's throne room back during the original...
Oh, well, where in this mini thing was it? I didn't see it.
I don't recall seeing it during this
I
mini.
don't think that it came up in this miniseries, but it was established
Some
the last
time
time
ago.
we were here.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
They've buffed Wolverine far too much in the intervening years.
Yeah.
Liliana comes to with a slap to the face. It's Belasco waking her for punishment.
Fun.
Yippee.
Back in limbo now, she hangs by the arms in her brother's grip. And at Belasco's instruction, Colossus pulls them apart, making her scream out in pain.
Ooh.
It's just the beginning for her. With a wave of Belasco's hand, her entire being erupts in pain before the Bloodstone ceremony has begun in earnest.
Okay.
As a part of her spirit is pulled from her body, Liliana feels her resistance waning further, ever in conflict with the part of her that longs to fight back. Finally, the third Bloodstone falls into place in her amulet. Only then does Belasco speak again, insisting that she be taught a lesson.
Okay. The Bloodstone thing is really bothering me. It just makes no sense. Like, they come from her soul, they're part of her soul, but then also she was going to get one from Aurora before she killed her.
No, she wasn't going to get one from Aurora before she killed her. She was just going to summon one from herself and then sacrifice her.
But she killed Aurora instead.
Yes.
So, I don't see how that changes anything, though.
I don't really know how
She was going to kill Aurora, and then she did.
Yeah, but she
Yeah.
didn't do it the right way.
Yeah, sure.
That's
Killing
it.
Aurora had nothing to do with making the Bloodstone.
Oh, okay. So why was Belasco pissed off about it?
Because he wanted her to do it the right way.
He wanted her to make the Bloodstone. He didn't want her to stab Aurora.
He wanted Aurora to see Ileana get corrupted, and then die.
Okay.
Right, and then get sacrificed to the Elder Gods.
Okay.
He had like he had a whole like plan here.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
He's an extra bitch.
But the Bloodstones still don't make sense at all.
I never said they did.
I don't understand what they're supposed to do, what they're supposed to be for.
Destroying the walls between realities so the Elder Gods can reign supreme
No,
upon
they're
the mortal
supposed
world.
to make Ileana evil.
When all 5 of them are done, she'll be corrupted and become a gateway for the Elder Gods to...
Yeah. They're
the
supposed
thing.
to make Ileana evil. But they're part of her?
Yes, being corrupted.
Okay. Alright. Okay, I see what's happening. Okay, so parts of her soul, the good parts of her soul, are being taken out, turned into Bloodstones. Leaving only the bad parts. That was not explicit enough.
Well, see,
Or at least the way Ripley was describing it wasn't explicit enough.
I don't know.
I don't think it was explicit enough.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, because you had to read over some of that when you were taking snips, I'm sure.
It didn't make a whole lot more sense, to be perfectly honest.
Chris just doesn't explain anything. He just was like, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
And with aliens, you can kind of buy into that. Like,
Right.
because aliens are aliens. Of course, they're weird.
Mm-hmm.
But magic has rules.
Yep. It has an internal logic.
Yeah. Like, aliens can have a logic to them, but it can be alien logic.
Yeah.
But magic needs to be comprehensible, or what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Finally, the third Bloodstone falls into place in her amulet. Only then does Belasco speak again, insisting that she be taught a lesson. He'll leave her here, in the wastes of what was once Aurora's garden, to survive the wilds of Limbo alone, subject to its harsh climes and vicious predators, bereft of her stepping discs or even the ability to die, for Belasco's spells will not allow her this.
Okay.
Fun.
Snatching the locket from around her neck, the Demon Lord then vanishes, leaving only Ilyana and 5 piles of dust where the reanimated X-Men once stood.
That's fun.
The girl collapses, reawakening sometime later in a blizzard of snow and freezing temperatures. Her thoughts on her prospects are grim as she looks for shelter.
I mean, she's wearing a leotard, so...
There's little shelter to be found. Aurora's home is collapsed, leaving none there. And emphasizing her helplessness, a powerful gust of wind blows her off her feet, smashing her into the trunk of Aurora's trees.
Ooh.
Still standing thanks to the powerful magic involved in its creation. It's substantial enough to at least serve as a windbreak, and Ilyana sits cross-legged at its base, casting a silver pentacle on the ground encircling the tree. She then focuses on its and her life forces, mind dedicated once more to the act of creation. For a moment it seems as if she's been successful. An acorn springs into existence, but as soon as she reaches out to touch it, it's revealed to be just as rotten inside as her first attempt, exploding in her face and sending the girl sprawling in the snow.
They keep on being made of black goop.
Yeah. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, when you try to make an acorn and instead you get close, but you get black goop as a result.
Hey, Ilyana, maybe instead of an acorn, you should make yourself a coat.
Hey, how about something synthetic? If it's not alive, it's not going to be a problem, right?
It won't be evil.
Yeah, it can't be evil if it's made of plastic.
Everyone knows plastic isn't evil.
Yeah.
There's no issues with plastic whatsoever.
There's no ethical issues with plastic.
Well, that just means
vegan
Belasco
leather.
shouldn't have a problem with it.
It's vegan.
It's evil.
Yeah, it's vegan. A vegan fur coat. I'm sure that'll be fine.
On a day in the near future, after the wind and snow have died down, Ilyana stands once more at the base of the tree. With every spell she casts, it grows weaker, and Ilyana mourns this, hugging the once beautiful oak, apologizing before setting in at its base once more to try again.
But how is she surviving?
Because she can't die.
She's using magic.
Okay.
And also, Belasco's not allowing her to die.
Okay.
And yet again, the acorn is rotten.
Why are you trying to make acorns anyway?
Right.
Because that's what Aurora did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
But if it ain't working, girl,
you know...
you gotta do something else.
Isn't it like the definition of insanity to try to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results?
Well, that is the thing people say, but that is not true. But it is the thing people say, yes.
Resigned, she leans back against the tree, blaming her failure on her own innate evil. But this last spell was one bridge too far to cross for Aurora's tree, and it crashes backwards, collapsing to the ground before crumbling to dust.
Rip that tree.
Yikes.
Infuriated, the young sorceress rages at the world, impotently slamming her fists on the ground before a revelation hits her. This magic of creation is something innate to Aurora, ever in touch with nature.
Uh-huh.
That makes sense.
It's like she was into plants from the start or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It was her way of reconnecting with the woman she'd once been. But Ilyana doesn't hold those same innate values to life.
Mm-hmm.
No, Ilyana holds innate values to communism.
No, what she wants is vengeance. And what she needs is to create a tool with which to achieve it.
A neat lightsaber.
Yeah.
And so, with the last of her strength from the tree, she casts one more creation spell, focusing this time on a sword. And as soon as she grasps it, everything changes. No longer is she weak, and no longer is she bound here. Belly's spells now broken.
Uh-huh.
Sword in
Belly
hand.
spelly.
Belly spelly.
No. I hate that.
Belly smelly.
Oh, God. It's so bad.
Sword in hand, she summons a light circle forth, off for some payback.
Hey, do you remember how swords don't work against Belasco?
This is a magic sword.
Yeah, it's a special sword.
And, cat sword wasn't magic?
No.
No, I don't think so.
What
You
about
might
her-
recall she wasn't super fond of magic.
That's true.
What about her arm shurikens? Were those magic?
Where the hell did she get any of that stuff?
They were magically sticking to her arms.
What did she do? Go to the, Limbo Ninja store?
Yeah.
She just makes sure she gets them back every time she uses them.
Mm-hmm. She's only got 6. They have Velcro on them, so she just sticks them on her arm.
Explains so much.
And yet, leaves so many more questions.
Yes.
She's not the only one with revenge on the brain. Belasco, too, is busy filling his head with thoughts of vengeance against Kesar and Shauna.
Wow.
Okay.
Man's got a full plate, huh?
Those responsible for his exile to Limbo in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
He's scheming in front of statues of his intended targets when suddenly Ilyana appears, slashing the stone figures to pieces with her sword.
She looks like she's gotten older again.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I think
Okay.
at least a year passed out in the wastes.
Cool.
Aggravated with the distraction, Belasco's first move is to hit her with a magic spell, but it doesn't take.
Ooh.
Ilyana deflects it harmlessly away. The easy method not working, his next action is to try using a sword himself.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But Ilyana takes some pages out of Nightcrawler's book, teleporting away from his strikes.
Fuck yeah.
Getting frustrated now, Belly calls for Sim.
Really?
The demon comes when he's called. He sorely underestimates the young sorceress, though, and gets slashed across the stomach for his troubles.
F. F's in the chat for
Yeah.
our boy Sim.
Oh, poor Sim. He was a bastard, and he deserved this,
And
but
we loved him.
we loved him.
He was a bastard, but he was our bastard.
Yeah.
Pour one out in the gay club.
Yeah.
They will. They will.
As he falls to the ground, Belasco's face falls in fear, even as Ilyana's heart soars. The demon lord falls back, putting his desk between the pair of them, but that won't stop her either. With a wide swipe, the desk is shattered, the precious grimoires of eldritch knowledge stacked atop it set aflame.
Ooh.
Okay. This is cool and all, but like, Ilyana literally did watch this happen with Storm,
Yeah.
and it didn't go super well.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe she should have learned something from that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Belasco's expression twists in rage, unaware that Ilyana has been studying all his spellbooks, committing their evil knowledge to her own noggin.
Oh, boy.
Sword at the ready, her features shift, her face turning red as she grows a set of horns to match.
Mm-hmm.
As she presses the attack, her transformation continues, the young sorceress gaining a pointed tail as Belasco's own demonic features begin to recede.
Oh,
He's becoming just a dude.
she's sucking the demon out of him. That's interesting.
That's hilarious.
Abandoned by his eldritch masters.
Okay.
Sure.
I guess so.
With one last swipe, she knocks the sword from his hand. With Belasco now at her mercy, memories come unbidden of Aurora's duel with the Demon Lord.
There we go.
She'd struck him down, only to find it a cruel trick to forever bind her to him. Considering her innocence already lost, Ilyana's willing to ignore the potential consequences. Right up until she realizes she holds Belasco's blade with her tail.
Okay, yeah.
The realization also brings her horns to her attention. It's enough to stop her in her tracks. Has she really become so much like Belasco? Internally, voices egg her on to slay him.
Ooh.
But her thoughts dwell still on Aurora's battle, wondering if she'd heard the very same. It's enough to stay her hand. Belasco is none too pleased to have been spared.
Yeah, I bet.
She was gonna finish, damn it. You can't do this to him. Fucking blue-balled over here.
Should have taught your apprentice better then, fucko.
Yeah, probably.
But Ilyana is at a strange peace with things. She's won, after all. In some ways.
I mean, this is more a victory than killing him.
Yeah, it is. Because she gets to keep herself.
And he's just a dude.
Yeah.
Well, she won the fight, sure, but she also won the title of standard bearer for the Elder Gods.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure did. I mean, he was basically going to use her for that anyway, so I feel like that was kind of inevitable.
The Demon Lord furiously casts her locket back across the room to her.
Ex-Demon Lord.
Proclaiming that while she's won the battle, she hasn't won the war.
I think she did, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can try a new war, but this one's actually a bit of a victory.
He then catches the girl off guard by vanishing in a puff of smoke.
Well, yeah, he's a guy, but he still knows some magic.
Mm-hmm.
And her appearance reverts to normal. Or as normal as she's capable anymore. For more than half of her soul has been bound to the amulet, twisted to evil.
That's just a concept.
Eh.
What does it even mean?
Trying to figure out how to approach the future, she's terrified. She could stay here as Limbo's new master, rebuilding it to be a thing of beauty like Aurora had. Or she could go, knowing it means an inevitable rematch with Belasco. But in the end, we know her decision.
Mm-hmm.
A stepping disc forms under her feet, with the knowledge that, with how much time has passed, she's going to cause a stir.
Mm-hmm.
And as she reappears, pulled free from hell by her friends, it does indeed raise some eyebrows. Still, she's made it home. For a time, she tries to leave the past in the past, but with the passage of a year, she's perhaps ready to move forward and embrace her gifts to honor the sacrifices of her lost friends.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just casually known all this magic and had these powers for a year and not been shown off.
Well, yeah, because she didn't really know if she wanted them.
No, I get that. She's just kind of...
She's been sitting on this,
And
yeah.
So what? Professor X hasn't known shit?
Correct.
Yeah, he wasn't able to read her mind very well.
And he just never considered that. Why does he never consider that to be a danger?
Because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He's just like, it's weird, I can't read your mind. Anyway.
Well, he did that with Maddie, too.
He did,
Yeah,
yes.
he just keeps...
That's what we're saying.
See, that's the thing.
He
It's
keeps
already
doing it.
it's already happened before.
Wait. I have a connection. They're both women.
Oh, no. I don't like that.
I mean, he doesn't
take her seriously.
He doesn't take them seriously.
That's
He can't read their minds, but that doesn't raise any red flags.
Because he doesn't think they have minds to read?
Because he doesn't think that they can be a threat.
At least they are at peace. And Ilyana holds their cherished memories free of Belasco's taint in her heart. As the snow begins to fall, she turns back towards the house, unbothered by the weather. That's where she runs into the new mutants. In some ways, they're her age. In others, not so much. They're all having a snowball fight. Finn.
Alright.
How'd you like that?
I liked that one more.
Yeah.
I felt like the pacing was better. There was actually,
Payoff?
Yeah, payoff, and there was character development, which
Yes.
is always incredible.
I think we could have sprinkled some character development a little more through
Yeah.
the rest of them.
Yeah. I'll give it a 4. I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. 4.
3.75. I still think that magic is Chris's weakest aspect.
I mean,
I
agree.
don't disagree.
And it makes it very hard for me to give it a 4,
Okay.
I'm guessing CMRO also gave it something close to a 3.75.
What do you think?
3.5.
3.9.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
They were with you guys.
I should have said 4. I thought about it, but then I was like, no, last time I guessed too high.
I didn't think they would, but hey, I'm not complaining.
Well, that's it for us this week.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have in store next week?
Next week, we're going to be back with the New Mutants, and then we're going to have also an issue of Uncanny X-Men.
Ooh.
A little bit of both.
That's not next week, it's in 2 weeks.
Yes, correct.
Next week, 2 weeks, what even is time? You can just miss a year, and or 2, or 5, and they just vanish like the wind.
Next week is Ripley's birthday.
That's true.
I was about to say congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
Congrats on...
being alive.
Yeah, especially in the age we're in.
Thank you.
I think it's worth congratulations. It's cool. Good job, you did it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll tell you one thing. I can definitely relate to, oh hey, a year passed. What the fuck? It was 2019, a year ago.
Anyway, leave down in the comments what drink you're going to pour out for Sim at the gay bar.
Our boy. He's gone forever.
He'll never return.
I miss him so.
Unless you've read ahead and you know that Sim does indeed return.
In Marvel Infinity War.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to spoil that one.
No!
No.
Not spoilers about Sim. Whatever will I do?
Sim spoilers, the most grievous sin you could commit.
The most grievous Sim.
Well, here's the thing. It's not much of a spoiler. This is the next issue we read.
Okay. Cool.
So it's not much of a spoiler.
Alright, cool.
But anyway, leave what drink you're going to pour out for Sim at the gay bar.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell button if you want to hear when we come out with a new episode, because...
Best place to find it.
Yep, YouTube's not always the best at letting you know.
Oh god, are they ever not good.
You can find us on social media over at Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you'd like to donate a couple bucks to the show, give us a tip. We're over on Coffee. Comicsplaining there. You want to shoot us an email? We are comicsplaining@gmail.com. Beyond that, that's going to be it for us this week. We look forward to talking to you next time. Bye!
Bye!